Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Muriens, and welcome back to my series part 5. There haven't happened so much since last episode. I've been working on the radiator and intercooler mounts, and also for the oil cooler. It was very tight to get it to fit here in the front, but I have kind of sorted out now, so I will show you what I've done. So I have made this bracket from a rectangular pipe, 40 by 20 millimeters. It should be 2 millimeter wall thickness, I think. And I have drilled holes here under the radiator. I'm using the stock rubber bushings and drilled holes in the pipe where the original bushings fit. So the radiator is just dropped down in the bushings and sits with these clamps, original clamps right here, and this rubber seal here, so it doesn't vibrate in the chassis. Also mounted two 12-inch sucking cooling fans. Just installed them with some vibration protection between the radiator and zip ties around the cells. It's not maybe the best way, but it has never failed in any other cars, and it holds up very good. And this bracket is just welded. Doesn't look so good, but it's welded in the frame rails in both ends, so it's very steady fit. I also had to cut out the original tow hook, which is located here. I have to bolt just some aftermarket tow strap or something, so I have something to pull me out of the ditch. And here is the oil cooler mount. I've made some 8 millimeter steel pipes here between the original mounts and M6 threaded rod that goes through, and just a steel bar here, angle 90 degrees angle steel, which I drilled holes that fits the top of the intercooler. And this bracket, which is bended, so it fits the stock hole here in the top mounting, so because this is very soft and bends like this, so you have got to have some kind of support to keep it in place. And just some pieces right there that holds the cooler in place, so it will sit like this. The hoses should fit very good also here. I think I will pull them inside the engine bay in this space here, and then above the frame rail there to the oil filter housing. So that should work very good. The bumper, I have tried with a bumper, so it fits just about a centimeter under the oil cooler. So that fits very good. I'm using an old front bumper from another car. It has already been cut out for another bigger intercooler that is way too big for this car, but I will probably buy a new front bumper for the summer that will fit the intercooler without cutting it. So about this throttle system. You don't want to deal with the stock arms and ball joints and stuff that Mercedes have on the diesel models. It's just crap. They always seem to jump out of their place and sometimes can even hang up the pedal, so the engine does run away. So a solution for that, my friend has cut me some pieces of aluminium, which I have bent a little bit. So this piece fits right on here with 2 M6 bolts. I have machined plastic bushing, which fits in this hole here. Then I have made this piece out of stainless steel, and I have this sprint right here, which I am going to weld so it sits in place, and the sprint fits here in the groove in this axle, so it locks this piece here. So when this is here, and then the bushing, and then this, and then I have to weld some rod or something in this piece that comes out about 3 centimeters, and made some mount for the wire. And then this piece, the original throttle wire, fits in this rectangular hole, clicks in place, and then this will be bolted here, so you can adjust the length of the wire, and then the wire goes down to the mount which I'm going to make here. And I'm also going to fit this spring in this rod here on the back side of the pump. Here is the original throttle mechanism mounted, and I will make a piece of metal or something to fit this spring in the block, so this helps to return the throttle and give a bit better feeling on the gas pedal. So that is a very good working solution. The new diff has arrived, which I'm going to use in this project. This is probably from a 124 with automatic gearbox. I don't actually know which car model it is from exactly, but I think it's from that. And it has 110 millimeter these hubs here, which you fit the drive shaft to. And I'm going to change this triangle piece here, which the Hardy bolts into, to a bigger one, because this is only a 90 millimeter diameter, and that's pretty weak for this super turbo use. And this is a very good condition diff, so I'm not going to open this or do anything to it, because if they are in bad condition and very worn up, then you have to try with a screwdriver under the small sprockets here and try to lift them. And if there is a big play between the sprockets, then you have to open up the diff, take these hubs out, and put new these clutch plates, clutch discs in the limited slip clutch disc packs. So you have to check that always when you buy a diff like this from a 124 or 190. The ratio on this, or ratio, what do you call it? You can read it from here, 2.88. This is a little bit rusty, so it's quite hard to see sometimes. But when you open the rear cover, it's also here on the big sprocket, 288. And for the 5-speed gearbox on a diesel engine, you should have between 265, which is the heaviest ratio you can have, and down to about 3.07. After that, if you have any higher ratio than that, then the engine will rev about over 3,500 revolutions per minute on highway, and it's not so nice to drive with that. You need some overspeed gearbox to drive any other ratios. And here you can see the difference between the rear covers. This is the 190 with 4 holes, and this is the 124 with only 2 big holes. So this is why you need this for the 190. And I will now put gasket glue here and put this cover on. And here is the hydraulic pipe which goes to the ASD system on the stock 124 and 190 cars. And I'm now going to remove this and install just a small bolt type or nipple or what you call them, where you add grease. It's mostly on some heavy machinery where you have to put Vaseline and grease in different kinds of moving parts. So just one of those here, and then press with some regular grease or Vaseline till you get the right pressure, so it starts to lock a little bit, and then it works just like a LSD differential. After a time, when you have driven like that on dry weather, then these clutch plates will start to worn out. So you have to check, not maybe every year, but it's good to do it every year. Take the diff out and check the play here. And if it's starting to getting looser, so then you have to put some new plates inside.
Well, he sold out to the devil, but he didn't get enough. Left his wife and baby for a little old piece of fluff. Now he's crying, learning how to sing the blues. Knows the devil always gets his due. No matter how much whiskey, there's a thirst he cannot slake. Desperation sleeping in his bed while he stays up awake. And the time's just begun. Now you know it's true.
Got the turbo bolted in place with new gaskets and gasket glue and everything, so it should not be leaking. And I also made this oil return line. I used the stock pipe that bolts into the engine block, and that seals with an O-ring to a steel pipe that goes up. And I made a bit budget solution from a AN12 oil hose with just some hose clamps. It's a little bit soft, and I have removed the compressor housing, and I have welded on this 2.5-inch pipe here, TIG welded. So I will glass blast this now and mount it to the turbo. Also got this heat protection. So a lot of small parts has been assembled in place, and it has been a much running back and forth to find different hoses and clamps here in my garage. But it takes shape. So the turbo is here in place, and the downpipe, a piece of pipe is already spot welded here It's like a cone from 2.5 inch to 3. So I will start building the exhaust after the axles are in place. I haven't made any intercooler pipes either before I have the anti-roll bar mounted. So I see that it doesn't hit that. And I also welded these AN10 fittings here in the oil filter housing. It's the stock 605 housing. So I just welded those there. And also made this pipe. It's a hose here between, so it can be moved to right position. It's the pipe that goes from the water pump housing, and it's mounted with 1 bolt in the engine block, and it goes up to the heater core. And on the other side there is already a place for a hose right there, and there is the pipe. So next episode will probably be the axle mounting video. I have tried to make the engine bay ready now, and I will start assembling the bushings in the subframe and all the different shafts and control arms. So I will show you how that's done. And please, if you need some of these bushings, so use the discount code which is down in the description on Strongflex website. 5% off your order. Very much good stuff for different cars. So, see you next time. Bye.